Hello everybody and welcome. I am Bricker Boom, and today we're going to be going through FireRed to see if I can beat it with a single Cubone. Looking at the overall stats, it's sitting at 320 for its base stat total, with defense being the highest and speed being its lowest, which is a problem. We have a surprising access to a variety of different moves, which is great, but unfortunately our special attack is rather poor. We're gonna have to rely a lot on ground moves, which is another problem. In this gen, it's when abilities became available, so some Pokemon are going to have Levitate, which makes the 5th gym a possible problem due to a couple of his Pokemon having that very ability. The last downside is that a lot of ground moves we have access to are very inaccurate, but they're powerful at the very least. This is also why the rival has Charmander. The first two forms will be easy. I'll have to rely on a highly inaccurate rock move or a powerful ground move for the first two forms, but for Charizard, we'll have to find what is likely going to be a very inaccurate rock-type move. It was the best that I could do with him having access to Giga Drain, which is weird. He could face Blastoise. He has Ice Beam for Venusaur. With his weird moveset, he basically has enough challenge or coverage to take on any of the 3 starters. This is what seemed the most fair to me. We name our Cubone Skrillex because Bangarang and Bonemerang, and I regret nothing. Going forward, we'll either name our starter or our rival or somewhere within the game a member of the Twitch community, but I had started this run beforehand. We've done it in the past, but I want to make it a constant thing. This way, again, it gives you more people that you can attempt to check out. Hopefully you decide to take that advice, because I'm going to shout out the people that I like. But with our rival, we only start out with Growl and Tail Whip, so naturally we lose. I had nothing clever to add this time, so we're going to name him Green and move on. We level up to 9 to get Bone Club and avoid hours of struggle battles, and move on as quick as we can. This is also going to be when I cover the quick set of rules. I can only use Cubone in battle, as I'm sure you know. I can catch other Pokemon for HM use if needed, and the one hack that I do allow is infinite rare candies, just as I said now. It's so I don't have to spend hours upon hours grinding just for simple levels, and it allows me to get content out to you a little bit quicker. With that being said, we leave Pallet, and that's when I come to the realization that our ground move that we have won't even affect the multiple Pidgey that we're going to come across. Due to this, we skip the optional rival battle and move on through the forest. By the time we get to Brock's gym, we are ready to fight him and we're at level 12, but I'm not too worried. Brock opens up with Geodude, and we miss Bone Club as it defends girls. Alright. We try Bone Club again and do about half. It tackles us, and we miss another Bone Club as it tackles us again. Another Bone Club connects it, taking it to red and making it flinch, and another attack makes it faint. Maybe I should have worried a little bit. Thankfully, though, we do get Headbutt now, so now we have an accurate move for outside the battle when we're taking on other opponents. Onyx hits us with Tackle, and we do about a third with each Bone Club that connects, and surprisingly doesn't miss. But we get another horribly inaccurate move when we win, and that is Rock Tomb. The main saying is, if it's not 100%, it's 10%, and this will prove true multiple times. We move on through the tunnel and grab the Dome Fossil and make a beeline for Misty's gym to see how horribly things go. We make it to her, and with that, we get smokescreened by Horsey and Icicle Spears. And that's not even the gym leader, that's just one of the plebs. With that, I double-check the ability and notice that we have Lightning Rod, which draws in electric moves, which is kinda useless for a single Pokemon challenge. Should have restarted. We go to face the rival, and we manage to take out Pidgeotto and Rattata, but Charmander is still able to take us out with a single Ember. Next attempt, Pidgeotto hits us with a quick attack, and we hit Rock Tomb. We lower its speed, which allows another Rock Tomb to connect, as it hits us with Gust, and a final Headbutt takes it down. Rattata comes out and only Tail Whips us, and we hit it with a Bone Club critical to one-shot it. As Charmander comes out, we hit it with Bone Club for an easy one-shot, but when it becomes flying, we're going to have to rely on those rock moves. Finally, Abra comes out, we Mega Punch it twice, and with that, we have a victory. After finishing the bridge and Bill, we attempt to face Misty again, and this attempt actually goes pretty poorly as well. We're able to make it consistently past Staryu, but when Starmie comes out, the Water Pulse is able to immediately wreck us. Even if it's not a one-shot, our Bone Meringue just doesn't do enough damage, so for the first time since starting these challenge runs, rather than rely on rare candies, because again, you do get slightly better IVs and EVs when you actually grind on trainer Pokemon, I head to the ship to level up and get some additional experience. And with being on the ship, we also have another rival battle, so it's going to be really weird. We're covering the third rival battle before we even get to the second gym. But on the ship, the rival sends out Pidgeotto, and we hit it with Rock Tomb, and it hits us with Quick Attack. Next turn, it uses Sand Attack, and we finish it off with Headbutt. Raticate comes out and uses Tail Whip, and we miss a Rock Tomb. Hyper Fang takes a decent chunk of damage, and we miss another Rock Tomb. Tail Whip again, and a third Rock Tomb miss. Hyper Fang hits us again, bringing us below half, and we finally critical hit Rock Tomb, and then a final Headbutt to finish it off. Kadabra's up next and uses Disable, which thankfully fails, and Boomerang takes it out. As Charmeleon uses Ember, it burns us unfortunately, but Boomerang does quite a bit to bring it down to a sliver. We get hit with Ember again, and we go down. We fight others on the ship in an attempt to level up before heading back and fighting again. We hit Pidgeotto right away, and it Sand Attacks us before we Headbutt it to bring it down. Raticate hits us with Hyper Fang, and we miss. We keep missing. Next attack, we hit Bone Meringue to take it down, but we do have lower defense now thanks to a Tail Whip. As Kadabra comes out and uses Disable, it misses, and we miss Bone Meringue. It misses Disable again, and we connect with Bone Meringue to get another knockout. Charmeleon then comes out once more, hits us with Ember, thankfully doesn't burn, we hit it with Bone Meringue, and we take it out with a single shot. With that, we head back to Misty, and it's the same issue. Staryu, unfortunately this time, hits us and confuses us. We smack ourselves the first time, and it hardens up. We hit Bone Meringue to take it out, and out comes Starmie. It takes us all the way down to 15 HP, and Bone Meringue hits, and one of those are a critical hit to finally get us the second badge. From there, we finally can go to face Surge, and it seems like it'll be a pretty easy victory given our typing. Voltorb is up first, and no, we didn't even bother healing up. We are feeling very, very confident. With that, we hit a Bone Meringue to take it out, and now comes Pikachu. It hits us with a quick attack, and Rock Tomb takes it out in one shot. Raichu comes out and uses Double Team, and we miss Bone Meringue. It then uses Quick Attack, and we hit a Bone Meringue to get us a third badge. We make our way through Dark Cave and immediately make a beeline for Celadon, where we sell most of our stuff, gamble a bit, and grab enough coins to learn Ice Beam. While our special is terrible, this is going to go a long way in providing coverage, especially against Flying-type Pokemon, and, hint, hint, Dragon-type Pokemon. We head to the underground part of the gambling center, where we take on Giovanni for the first of many, many times. Giovanni sends out Onix, and Ice Beam is enough to take him down. Rhyhorn also goes down to a single Ice Beam, and soon, Kangaskhan is out. Bite does a small chunk, and we hit with wow, I accidentally typed Bangarang, and Bone Meringue to bring it to about half. We trade attacks off and on for a little while, but due to the speed loss from Rock Tomb, we are able to hit it with the first blow, winning us a, once again, very close battle. After that, it's back to Lavender Town to take on the rival. Due to the pacing of which we do things, we are always a little bit over-leveled for this part, but that's fine. It's a single Pokemon challenge. No matter what, in one area or another, we're gonna be over-leveled. With that, he makes and also, I just want to talk, he makes a very awkward line about our Pokemon not being dead, but he can make them faint. That seems weird to me. Anyway, he sends out Pidgeotto. Ice Beam is able to take it out in one shot. Execute also goes down to a single shot. Kadabra outspeeds us and disables Ice Beam, but we thankfully had selected Return because it's a non-special move, and we get a one-shot. When Gyarados comes out, I know it's going to take a little bit of time due to the fact that we have a much lower attack now, but Return does a third, Thrash does a small chunk, but due to this particular move, it's going to get more powerful if he keeps using it. We take it to a fourth, and it does a bit more with Thrash before we do finally take it out, where I don't think that crit mattered. Charmeleon comes out, and we Bone Meringue for a clean one-shot. After that, it's time to see if we can get the fourth badge through Erica. Like I said, typing, that's not great for us, but the fact that we have Ice Beam, that should provide us a little bit of extra coverage. Victreebel comes out and Ice Beam takes it out. As Vileplume comes out, we're able to Ice Beam it, which freezes it. Nice. Erica uses a full heal and a second Ice Beam takes it down. When Tangela comes out, we're able to finish it with a single Ice Beam as well. Huh. Well, that was unexpected. Here, though, we are going to run into a bit of a problem. Both Koga and the rival in Silphco are proving to be a little bit too much. So what we do, we level up against the people within the building and some trainers to get some additional traction. After we level up, we head back to Koga for our badge and hopefully a easy gym battle with Blaine afterwards. After we level up, we head back to Koga for our badge and a hopefully easy battle with Blaine afterwards. Koga sends out Coughing, which we hit with Return to below half, and then it blows up to take a good chunk of health. Okay, that's one down at least. We use Bone Meringue on Muck, and between the two hits, it deals more than enough to take it out. When the next Coughing comes out, we're still looking good, and use Rock Tomb to take out a small portion of its health. It uses Sludge and crits us to bring us below half. We then use Return, bringing it to red, and it hits us with Smokescreen. Thankfully, the next Return lands and brings it to about half. Another Return lands and takes it out. Last is Weezing, who we immediately hit with Ice Beam, and it hits us with Sludge. Another Ice Beam brings it below half and gets the freeze. After that, a full heal defrosts him just in time to be fainted by another Ice Beam, winning us the next badge. From there, to me, it makes sense to head to Cinnabar because we at least have a bit of a type advantage, and I already get the feeling the rival is going to be still way out of our league. We tried multiple times before we made this plan, but we clear the mansion pretty easily since I've been doing these challenges for a hot minute, so I'm starting to remember it and be able to clear it and grab a few vitamins along the way. At the very least, even if they don't work, I can sell them if I need the extra funds. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident overall. A type advantage, moves that are strong against this team, and that confidence was so misplaced. We get stomped quite literally so many times I don't even want to relive it. The battles that we don't immediately get decimated by Fire Blast, we get burnt early on, which ruins our attack stat and our chance for victory. After about an hour of sped up attempts, a lot, and I mean a lot of profanity, we abandon this and head back to Silphco. One thing I want to point out, what you guys see on the timer is definitely not accurate because I typically restart for losses because I really don't want to lose the friendship for our best move, aka Return. So when you look at the time and it's like, well, that doesn't make sense, that's why. So, at Silphco, once again, the rival is absolutely stomping us when it comes to the battle. We can typically get to Gyarados, but it's able to take us out pretty easily. After another set of battles, we keep trying, and keep getting to the spot that we were able to before. And then it always takes us down. At level 60, a single Ice Beam is enough to take out Pidgeot before it can sand attack us into oblivion. Execute also goes down to a single Ice Beam. Alakazam is still faster and sets up Calm Mind, and we smack back with Return to take it down with one hit. Gyarados comes out, and even almost double the level, we don't even do half with our bad special. A second Ice Beam thankfully crits, which I am fairly certain did matter to take it out. As Charizard comes out, the usually useless Rock Tomb does a good portion of damage and slows it down, letting us use it again to connect and finally advance in this challenge. Lord. Anyway, at this level, it's kind of laughable to fight Giovanni to the point where we don't even bother restoring our PP. Nidorina goes down to a single Bone Meringue, and when Kangaskhan comes out, we hit it hard with the same move. It lands back with a Tail Whip, and we use Return to finish it off. Rhyhorn is, well, Rhyhorn, and immediately goes down to Ice Beam. Nidoqueen is taken to half before hitting us, and with a body slam and double kick, it takes us to a decent chunk, but it ultimately goes down to Ice Beam. After that, it's time to head to the gym and see if we can at least take on Sabrina. Kadabra comes out and sets up Reflect, but a critical hit Bone Meringue is enough to take it down immediately. Mr. Mime comes out and goes down to red from our attack as it sets up a barrier, making it a bit more defensive. I use Bone Meringue again, and looking back now, I probably should have used Ice Beam, but it uses Baton Pass to send out Venomoth. Venomoth uses Supersonic, but we thankfully make it through and land a hard Ice Beam before it hits us with Psybeam. Sabrina heals up, but thankfully we don't smack ourselves, and 2 more Ice Beams are able to take it down. Mr. Mime, with his Sliver, comes back out and is immediately taken down by return. Alakazam is very last and uses Calm Mind to begin setting up, but a single Bone Meringue is enough to take it out with 1 hit. Time for Blaine. Again. Now, I want to point out, this took me another 10 attempts or so. We lose a lot to Blaine due to our lackluster special defense. But, finally, Rowlith comes out, and we land a Bone Meringue to take it out. As Ponyta comes out, it thankfully meets the same fate. When Rapidash comes out, he hits a Fire Blast because of course it does, but we're able to smack back and take it out. As Arcanine comes out, we land a very much appreciated critical hit and take it out with a single shot, finally getting us the badge. This took me so many attempts, and the fact that I went in feeling very confident about our typing, oh my goodness. Anyway, we ignore Bill and his quest once again, and we head immediately to the 8th gym to pay Giovanni a visit one last time. Starting off, Giovanni leads with Rhyhorn, who is arguably worse than Cubone in regards to special, but as quick as he came out, he goes down just as quickly. Dugtrio's fast and hits us with a softer Earthquake, and we retaliate with Ice Beam to land another easy one-shot. As Nidoqueen comes out, we hit it with Bone Meringue to do yet another one-shot, and our level's just nice. I just noticed. Anyway, Nidoking comes out, and a Bone Meringue is another hard hit and another knockout, and then finally, another Rhyhorn who goes down to a single Ice Beam. Rhyhorn is a lot worse than I remember. Maybe I should do a challenge of that. Tell me what you think. Anyway, after that, we have the 8 badges, but the run is still far from over because we've only wrapped up one portion of the challenge. Now, we have to go to the Elite Four and the Champion and one more badge, or not badge, one more battle right before that. And with our Cubone, I'm not sure if this is going to be possible or not, so lock in all your guesses. With the final rival fight, we have to get all the way up to level 78 before we can even consider winning. We spend a good hour or more on this with multiple levels in between, but this is the best attempt that we get in a long time. With all these extra levels and some extra vitamins that we were able to barely squeak in, Pidgeot now goes down to a single Ice Beam. Execute also goes down to the same move. When Gyarados comes out, it cuts our attack down quite a bit. I want to say that Intimidate cuts it in half, maybe? I don't know. When we hit it with Ice Beam, it thankfully freezes it. We land a fairly decent return. When it falls, it uses Rain Dance, which is good, because it goes down next turn, and Charizard comes out next, and now its fire moves are cut in half. With Charizard using Flamethrower, it's actually a fairly soft hit. We land an Ice Beam, which crits to bring it below half. After that, it uses another Flamethrower to bring us below half, and another Ice Beam takes it out. When Rhyhorn comes out, it goes down to a single Ice Beam, and finally it's Alakazam. Our HP isn't great, and it disables us, giving us the chance to hit a hard return. A second disable later, and an Ice Beam later, the battle is won. With that, we're able to make our way through Victory Road without too much difficulty. Now that we've been playing the game so often, we make it through pretty quicker. Thank God muscle memory is still able to kick in. Anyway, with that, we're able to face Lorelei, and honestly, we are definitely not ready. With our type disadvantage and Lorelei being able to outspeed us time and time again, we are forced to level up. And it is a slog trying to face her. But all the way at level 90, we still lose a few times, but finally, Earthquake does about 3/4 damage against the Dugong, and it uses Safeguard. Lorelei heals up, and we use another Earthquake in return to knock it out. As Cloister comes out, we smack it with Return and Earthquake as it sets up Spikes, Hail, and stalls us with Protect. When Slowbro comes out, we use Earthquake twice to take it out. Jinx goes down to a single Earthquake, and finally Lapras comes out. We take it to yellow with a single shot. It uses Confuse Ray, we bust through, and another Earthquake takes it down. Next up is Bruno, and both Onyx go down to a single Ice Beam. Hitmonchan comes out, and Earthquake is enough to take it out. Hitmonlee is up next, and we take it out with a single shot. And finally, it's out. It's up to Machamp, but an Earthquake takes it to yellow. It uses Scary Face and then Cross Chop, and another Earthquake is enough to take it out, giving us a fairly easy victory. After that, it's against Agatha, and we have a whole new set of problem, but it's mostly due to Gengar opening up with Toxic. Since it outspeeds us and getting it hit that first turn, that usually ends a majority of attempts. Finally, we bite the bullet and we hit level 100. Gengar is still faster, but now it doesn't seem to want to use Toxic. Instead, it uses Double Team, but we managed to land 2 Ice Beams. Golbat comes out and uses Air Cutter, and a Rock Tomb misses. From there, it's a big slugfest back and forth until Agatha unfortunately heals, but we do take it out. Haunter goes down to red from a Rock Tomb, and an Ice Beam takes it out. As the final Gengar comes out, we use Rock Tomb and Ice Beam to finally take it out, and then Arbok comes out, and we take it out rather easily. From there, we go to Lance and land a Rock Tomb against Gyarados to bring it a bit above half and lower its speed. It uses Dragon Rage, and we use Ice Beam to bring it to red as it uses another Dragon Rage. Another Rock Tomb lands and sends it to a little above half. 2 more hits and Gyarados finally goes down. From there, most of his team, in all honesty, is a one-hit sweep with Ice Beam. This was the main reason I picked this move. I knew that the Dragons would have provided a huge problem otherwise, and I'm glad to see that it came in clutch so close to the very end of the run. After that, it's time to face the champion. The champion is rather shockingly easy. Pidgeot hits us with an Aerial Ace, and an Ice Beam is enough to take it out in one shot. Executor goes down to a single critical hit Ice Beam that I'm not sure mattered. When Gyarados comes out, we land a critical hit Rock Tomb. It misses Hydro Pump, and then heals up. Another Rock Tomb takes it above half, and an Ice Beam brings it to red, and they heal up again. A Return takes out a quarter of its health, and a Rock Tomb brings it below half. Another Hydro Pump misses, and a Rock Tomb brings it to red. This time they don't heal up. A final Return is enough to bring it down. As Charizard comes out, I'm thankful for keeping Rock Tomb and not replacing it, as it lands a Fire Blast, and a Rock Tomb takes it down to below half, and now, thanks to the speed drop, we're able to land a second Rock Tomb, which is able to take it out. Finally, the inaccurate move pays off. And last up is Alakazam, who uses Future Sight. Return takes it below half, and the next turn it tries to use Future Sight again, so a second Return is enough to take it down. And then finally, Rhydon goes down to a single Ice Beam, winning us the Pokemon League Championship. That was a lot harder than I expected, if I'm being honest. With Cubone's stats and a lot of ground moves having bad accuracy, it was a lot harder to win battles. Next week's challenge is going to be fun, and probably the most frustrating run that I've ever done. Next week's challenge is trying to beat FireRed, but every move on my team and my opponent's team is replaced with the move Metronome. So, as always, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, think about hitting the thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button, because it really does help me out. If you haven't joined the Discord yet or follow me on other social media, please make sure to do so, because the more ideas I have, the more I can keep doing this. And until next time, everybody, peace out.